All right, it's February. We're talking about fitness this month, right? And so I wanted to tell you this quick little story here. A couple times a year, I take the teenagers, our leadership team, take them up on an event or something like that, right? So this time we were hiking up this mountain, and this old guy, not really old, like in his 50s, so definitely not old, right? He comes, almost passing us, right? He's carrying this huge bag, this big black bag, he's just carrying it over his shoulders, right? And so I'm like, what are you carrying this big bag up? It's not a backpack, it's just a big bag carrying up the mountain here. And I was like, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, I'm just carrying this concrete. I was like, it's concrete? He goes, yeah, I got a bag of concrete inside these bags here. And I was like, why are you carrying concrete up the mountain? What are you possibly going to do up on the mountain with a bag of concrete, right? And he goes, oh, I'm just training. And I was like, oh, so you're like, training for a marathon or a UFC fighter or boxing or something. Like, what are you training for? And he's like, and by this time, he's past us and I'm having to keep up with him and stuff. And he goes, oh, I'm just training for life. And I thought, how cool is that? And he's carrying this big bag of concrete, up the side of the mountain here just to train for life, right? So many times we're training for a marathon, right? And then after we run the marathon, we don't go running for the next 6 months, right? Or whatever. And so then the marathon's coming up. Oh, it's time for that Phoenix Marathon again. I got to start training for it. And so then we start training for it, and then after it's done, right? We got to make sure that we're always training for life, right? I like what Rocky says when he says, doesn't matter who you hit, or hits you or whatever, no one's going to hit as hard as life.